This landscape's boxy, pebble-dashed houses protrude from barren landscapes surrounded by shallow walls. The landscapes within and without the walls, identical, patchy, unenthusiastic. The fields were lawns and lawns were fields. Creative souls with a horticultural bent occasionally have an almost alive Christmas fir in a too small pot by the front door. Later in the year I expect it would, bedraggled and bare, be moved to its position by the bins. This is the best place in the world. Rural Scotland. I think back to my home village in southern England and suspect that any of my neighbours settling into such a landscape as rural Scotland's might be a little more frivolous in furnishing it. Perhaps the magnolia tree, foxgloves and delphiniums, and for winter colour, berberis, ivy and variegated holly. A small herb garden may be positioned conveniently close to the back door, and there may be a crescent-shaped bed flanking the curved path from road to door. In it, winter pansies, bulbs and summer bedding might proliferate. There would be winding paths, wooden benches, metal climber arches, bushes, shrubs and the odd piece of statuary. What would they do with all that land? What would they plant? And the garden would grow, bloom, fail and occasionally host over-enthusiastic barbecues and the destructive play of toddlers. Greenhouse panes would be secure, dying flower heads would be removed, weeds would be surgically extracted and lawns and hedges clipped. Just following my train of thought, perhaps this is what it might be to be English. A garden lover and plant enthusiast, but yet someone who is more hopeful than green-fingered. Cacti die. Succulents become less so. Climbers drop and fall. Bedding plants shrivel, suffocated by blankets of weeds. And ponds overrun with weed, fallen leaves and plastic greenhouse panes blown in following gales and left floating and flailing helplessly on the water's surface. And in this tiny but active harbour village, fish matter, boats matter, and tradition matters. Window boxes, hanging baskets and Village Garden of the Year awards don't matter. I think of the Cotswolds and of my last house there, Patagonia Drive, gated community, each house with its own unique style and flora, and each with its own gardener. No, I much prefer here. There's an inherent honesty that says, I spend more than enough time outdoors, thanks, get the fire on. I did get the fire on as I returned to the Barber Arms Hotel, well, the storage heater in the bedroom that had been my home for the past 8 days. Just one day more, and I'd move into my new, downshifted place. A gorgeous pebble-dashed roadside cottage, just 1.5 stories high and with a half-mile croft strip stretching from the back door down to the seafront road. It wasn't going to remain a croft strip for long. I'd already ordered 4 arches, the largest pond liner, a few tons each of sand, grit, pebbles and topsoil, and an entire lorry load of trees, shrubs, herbaceous plants, climbers and annual seeds. I'd already mapped out the vegetable garden and the location of the pagoda and picnic benches. And then I realise I will stand out a mile, and so will my house. But that's fine. I'll cope, and my garden will thrive.